1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, what's up guys? I am James Hake. This is the Hake Report. It is Tuesday, February 11th. Almost said January. February 11th, 2020. Live in hour 4 of Jesse Lee Peterson's stream. It's in the 9 a.m. hour of Pacific time. It's over in Georgia. It's afternoon. Good afternoon, Georgia, and everybody on the East Coast, and everybody in the Eastern time zone, and everybody further east than that. Is that east? Yeah. People over in Australia, it's already tomorrow. Been a tomorrow a while. All that stuff. So thank you guys for joining. I wanted to tell you about the just a little bit about the coronavirus. You know, that Chinese disease that's been wreaking havoc. And I want to tell you a little bit about the store, the different stores that we have, Jesse Lee Peterson, Bond, The Fallen State, plus the Hake Report, but you find go to thehakereport.com for that one. But I'm going to tell you about that. But I just saw in my calendar, according to this calendar, my grandma Hake's birthday would have been tomorrow. A 100th birthday. Dang. So had she made it, she would have been 100, according to this calendar. I don't know, I halfway don't believe that. But maybe she was 99. She, as you guys know, if you've been watching the show, you know that my grandmother died several weeks ago now. My grandmother, my dad's mother. So we're going to have a little thing for her on Sunday. Yeah, it's been several weeks, and we're going to barely have the thing this weekend, I guess. So that'll be nice. Kind of recognize her life, whatever. Excuse me. And then I will get to your calls. Appreciate you guys calling in. 888-775-3773. Hang tight. It's interesting because China is so evil, this coronavirus thing. It's already worse than SARS in that people aren't dying at as high of a rate as they were for SARS, meaning like it seemed like around 10% of the people who got SARS died from it. That's high. But only like 800 people died. So, crazy. Appreciate that, Keck Radio. He says, God be with her. Thanks, man. James, stop smoking pot. I don't smoke pot. But anyways, yeah, it is widespread. Like 43,000 plus people have it according to, official numbers. And who knows if China is telling the truth? Who knows if these, the Western scaremongers are telling the truth? They like to scare us. They like to control us. They like to not actually look out for us, pretending that they're looking out for us. And so you have China who's evil. And then you have the UN who's evil. The United Nations, they're run by a bunch of liberals. They think America is racist. They want to meddle in America. They want to redistribute America's wealth. They are the only thing that some of you guys that hate Israel like about them is that they don't like Israel, seemingly. I don't know. But, yeah, there's nothing good about the UN. Yeah, you can find a few decent people and a few decent things that they do, but it doesn't mean that they're any good or to be trusted or whatever. There's always going to be someone trying to run the world, which we needed to have it be good people. Because right now it's evil people. And so the UN, the World Health Organization, what a disgusting bunch of people. Globalist socialists. They push the climate change nonsense, which is globalist socialism, which we should not want. but they're not. You can't trust them to tell the truth, nor can you really trust China to tell the truth. They don't have freedom of speech in China. There's a doctor who was sounding the alarm, who, according to the story, got infected with the virus. A doctor, I guess he discovered the virus, a Chinese doctor, and then he sounded the alarm about the virus, according to what I understand of this story. And then he got it, and then now he's dead or disappeared or what? I think he's dead. And was he offed, or was he given the virus, or did he just contract it because he's handling all these people? I don't know. Trump is investigating Is Trump investigating the virus? I know I imagine that he's keeping a close eye. Does he smell anything fishy? It's a good question. But the UN, they're trash. I mean, there's a lot of people in Africa, like villages in Africa. They don't want to trust these outsiders that come in and warn them about these diseases, and then they get the disease and because they don't trust anybody, and then they make it worse by not whatever. But now, like, there was this journalist guy who was maybe the most well-known citizen journalist, Chinese guy, named Chen Qiushi or Chushi, something like that. Qiushi. First name Chen. Or maybe it's the other way around. Chen. And he was roaming Wuhan, the town, with his cell phone and on social media, posting like 100 things in like a couple of weeks. 100 posts. And there was maybe a discrepancy between what these citizen journalists are saying and what the government is saying. And now he's disappeared. Crazy. Because the police want to crack down on it. It reminds me of Great Britain, not so Great Britain, the UK, where, different people, Tommy Robinson, whatever you think of Tommy Robinson, the activist guy, he's supposedly like a nationalist type or something, concerned about the Muslim influence in the UK. He was live streaming about these Muslim rape gangs because they don't have freedom of speech. Well, I don't know if they were rape gangs or grooming gangs where they would groom girls or underage girls, to be having sex and stuff like that. I don't know. Something weird. And it's quite common over there. And it might be more and more common here. I don't know. But something fishy, and then what does a judge do? Issue a gag order. And then he got in trouble. He got thrown in jail. Crazy. So they don't have freedom of speech in China or the UK, and they're trying to crack down on freedom of speech here. The hate crimes thing is an example of the attack on the freedom of speech, because if I call somebody the N-word and then I punch them in the face, if it's a black person, then that's all of a sudden a hate crime. But if I don't say anything and I punch them in the face, well, because I'm white, they might try to make it into a hate crime. But that means that what I say, I can be punished extra for it if I commit a crime. And so that's an example of an attack on the freedom of speech. If a black guy says, "You bleeping cracker," or whatever, and punches me, he should get the same amount of time if he doesn't say bleeping cracker, just bleeping bleeper. Something non-racially charged, right? But that's an attack on the freedom of speech. And the same thing with this guy that drove into the crowd, the white guy that drove into the crowd in Charlottesville. His car was getting attacked by Antifa. But because he hated the liberals or hated the Antifa people or hated the anti-white people, they called it a hate crime. And his sentence was punished. He's punished all the more heavily for it. That's an attack on the freedom of speech. It's a wedge. It's a way for the communists to, the evil people, to use an example of someone doing kind of something bad and something that he has a right to do, and they take the thing that he has a right to do and make the bad thing seem even worse, because racism is worse than murder in these people's dumb minds. So anyways, we don't have free speech anywhere, seemingly, but it's crazy. 43,000 plus cases may be the tip of the iceberg. Their mortality rate went from 2.2% to 2.4%. I think SARS, like I said, was close to 10% of those who got it died. 100 people died on Monday, according to China. I don't know. These cruise ships are these people who go on these nice cruises, and then they can't get off the boat anymore. I'm laughing, but it's not. It's a messed up situation. There's this boat called the Diamond Princess, and there were 3,000 passengers on board, and they were all stuck there. And 24 Americans were infected with this thing. And this is in like Japanese waters. And 135 total were diagnosed with this virus. 135 people, and all 3,000 of the people have to suffer with them. Because they have to be better safe than sorry, right? I understand that, kind of. But 24 Americans, I wonder what those Americans are. I'm just curious. Are they white? Are they Asians? Chinese? Japanese Americans? I'm really curious. Why is China doing all these epidemics? It's gross. And they said that they're speculating that it may have had to do with the crazy animals that they sell for food. But who knows? At one point they speculated it was snakes. I showed you pictures of the supposed SARS culprit who carried this disease to the people, human beings. So I don't know. It's a big mess. So before I get to the calls, I just want to tell you guys. So I'm wearing this T-shirt called the wall going up, and this is a premium T-shirt, right? There is a tri-blend version that I have to create to add to this thing, I think, because I don't think we were offering tri-blend. Maybe even Teespring was not offering tri-blend, which is even nicer style of T-shirt on the Jesse Lee Peterson Teespring store. So let me show you guys the store that we just put up, kind of to combine all the stuff that we're offering, Jesse Lee Peterson / Bond related. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, look out the menu, and click what's called store. And then at the top, you'll see the 4 books that Jesse Lee Peterson offers, From Rage to Responsibility, Scam, How the Black Leadership Exploits Black America, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood, and The 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Family, and Financial Success. Very cool, huh? And then you scroll down a little bit, and then you see Stand Up Remix by Joel Friday here, Big Bump, and Trevor Wesley. And kind of, it's Jesse Lee Peterson's ending song. And then also the Jesse Lee Peterson remixes and intros, plus the Hake Report in a prior release. And then T-shirts, Bond T-shirts, Jesse Lee Peterson T-shirts, and the Fallen State T-shirts. And I'm showing a selection of the Bond T-shirts there. So it's nice because it's all kind of in one place now. We don't have to tell you, go here, go here, go here. This will have all the links from which you can find any of the 5 different places that we have different things available. Sorry, we're not this huge company that we can sell you our music directly and manufacture our T-shirts, whatever. Anyways, just thought I would share that with you, rebuildingtheman.com. Currently, it's rebuildingtheman.com/store. Nice, right? Some were concerned that it might be confusing to call it a store, even though you don't have your shopping cart on our Bond website. You have to go to a different place. Let us know what you think. Give us feedback, especially if you're a boomer, but also if you're a millennial or a Zoomer or a Gen X or a silent generation. We have some people in the silent generation listening, right? Nice. Not my grandma anymore. She doesn't listen. Unless she's listening from heaven or wherever she is. Anyways, let me get to, by the way, the deep state, the DOJ is trying to I want to say a different word, but just totally lynch Roger Stone, General Michael Flynn, everybody Trump related. They're trying to just smash these people. They're evil. But so I'll give you a little bit more details on that. But I think they had to walk back some stuff, and Trump called it out too, as they're being ridiculous with these people. Roger Stone was a guy who was supporting Trump in the campaign, and then Michael Flynn was his national security advisor for a while. Would have been way better to keep him rather than have John Bolton, am I right? What a mess. Anyways, let me get to some calls, and then we'll get to that. Andrew out of Pittsburgh, PA, as in, not as in Pasadena, as in Pennsylvania. First-time caller, Andrew, thanks for calling. What's up?
Hi, Hake.
Hey.
Sorry about your grandmother passing.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to shed a little bit of light on one of the things you talked about, because I had something unrelated to talk about. But,
Okay.
I have some friends in China, and they said that they have to talk to me through obviously encrypted apps and stuff, but they say the death toll is way higher than what they're saying. They're saying it might be around 10,000.
Wow. How do they know this? Did you ask them?
Well, because of the way people are acting. Like, people are normally you've seen pictures of people of China in the streets, doing their crazy crap. He said there's barely people out in a lot of the sections that did all of the dog eating and bat eating and all that crap.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're just guessing. I'm not saying, bet your life on that.
Right.
But I just think it was an interesting thing to tell you.
Yeah, I remember the reaction to SARS, and I wasn't really paying a lot of attention to the media at that point. I was finishing up college or whatever, 2002, 2003. I guess I was in the middle of it. And I remember that being like an emotional time for the Chinese, and scary time. That's when I noticed all these people wearing these masks like they were out mowing lawns or something, or doing surgery or whatever. But
yeah, that's what happens over there. That's what they do. But the reason why I called is a black woman and her education are attempting to destroy my family, and I was wondering, the way I've been reacting to that is I just say whatever I want. I tell the truth all the time, and here's how it goes. My brother married this woman. She's like a half year older than him. Beta, and he never stands up to her. She's just running wild.
This
and
is
my brother.
This is the same black woman who's trying to destroy your family, you say?
Yeah. She's trying to destroy my family.
So he married a black woman?
Yeah.
And you guys are white? Your brother's white?
Yeah. Both white.
Interesting.
I don't like black women. I like white.
Right.
I just don't know. I don't know. Because like.
How can she destroy your family? You mean your wife and children and you, or you mean your sibling and parents or something?
My mother, me, my father passed last year, but the reason why is because they just had a baby and they want me to be involved with the family, but like I can't. I'm not going to sit around and lie in front of them. I'm not going to, say things that aren't true to make them feel better about themselves. Like, if they want me to be around, they just had a newborn child. Like, if they want me to be a part of her life, like, I'm going to tell her what I think. And every time I say what I think, she goes nuts.
Yeah.
Do you think my approach is good right now, or do you think it needs any tuning?
I really don't know, because I don't see how you act around those people, Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So like when you say that, I could imagine like you going taking the joke a little too far, saying stuff when you shouldn't say it, but maybe that's not true. You may be fine, but this whole hang around your are you married and have kids?
No. I'm only 23, son.
Oh, okay.
I don't have any baggage. I'm very lucky.
Right on. Well, I mean, you don't want to create baggage with this situation. You don't have. I don't see you needing to be around them. You know what I mean?
That's what I think too.
But you
Yeah.
know, this is more. To be honest, ask Jesse and make sure if you know yourself, because this is something you're gonna have to really know for yourself what to do.
Yeah, I might have to give that counseling line a call.
Yeah, definitely. Or you can call into his show tomorrow early morning. You're in PA, Pittsburgh. It's
That's not that early for me. That's 9.
okay. Yeah, call right at 9 or even a minute before. We try to turn on the phones right around that time, and then you can usually get in.
Sounds good. I really appreciate it, James.
Yeah, good luck to you. That's
Thank you very much, sir. You have a great day.
Yeah, nice to hear from you, man. Take care.
Thanks.
All right. This is interesting. Let me get to Rich out of Palmdale, Florida. Rich. Is it Rich? Rich.
You hear me?
Yeah. Hey.
Yo, what's up, Hake? It's not Florida, it's California. I'm the one who called at times already.
All right. I gotta. Yeah. I know that I know there's a Palmdale in California. Somebody kept on thinking it was Florida. Maybe he's thinking West Palm Beach. West Palm. Anyways, man. Good to hear from you.
Nah. Good to hear from you too. I wanted to call Jesse, but I wanted to talk to Jesse, but I didn't have time or whatever. But
yeah.
I wanted to ask you, do you know that the English language is full of spells and curses?
They're full of what and curses?
Spells and curses?
No, I didn't know that.
Well, let me just break it down for you then.
That sounds like druid stuff.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
In school, they teach us education. Education, the etymology word of education is edusor or something like that, and that means to take out.
Yeah, to bring out.
Take out the spirit. Exactly. They teach us in school, what do they teach us? Cursive and how to spelling and cursive. That's why we learn how to write in cursive and spelling. And they also teach us what? Grammar. Grammar, the root word of grammar is grimoire. A grimoire is a book of spells. Okay? Now, keep all that in mind, right?
Okay. Dang, that's crazy. But, I mean, I think that's because white languages are creepy. No, I don't know.
For sure. Now, it doesn't stop there.
For sure.
Every day of the week, we wake up in the morning to go to our... We wake up in the morning in the weekdays to earn a living, to go to our job, right?
Yeah.
A wake. Oh, translation for that. Translation. A wake is a funeral for the dead. Mourning is what you do when you lose a loved one. You have to be in a weekdays to earn a living. Earn is ashes for the dead. And job is Hebrew for persecution. And at the end of it all, we get the weekend, and we're weakened. Ain't that something?
Dang. My mind is seriously blown. That's nuts. That's trips me out.
Curses. I told you the English language is full of curses and spells. Ain't that something?
But I'm keeping it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah, I also...
That's wild, man.
Super wild. I also wanted to...
Where'd you learn that, by the way?
From some musician that I listen to.
Dang, man. Does he smoke pot?
It's crazy. Why does that matter? The fact of the fact.
I guess that's a yes, huh? But hey, Germanic. So Nick told me Germanic Manic Mason. I don't know. Anyways.
Oh yeah, like that's a good point. You
I know,
reminded
man.
me. Like did you know we have organs, a heartbeat, eardrums?
Dang. Yeah.
So we're like little instruments of God. But oh yeah, we also have a torso. That's because we're in a torus field.
A what?
And,
a what?
A torso.
What is it?
Our body is called a torso because we're in a torus field.
Say that. Spell it. We're in a what?
Torso?
No, not the torso, field. But the other one.
Torus field.
Tours what?
Taurus field.
Taurus field?
Yeah.
Taurus, what's a Taurus? Is that what is that? Is that like a Greek god thing? A geometrical object?
Yeah,
like
something
a donut?
like that. Basically, exactly.
Stay
Basically,
dumb, Hake. This guy, Guffita, I don't know how you pronounce your name, but he says, stay dumb, Hake, it's safer for you. Thanks, man. And then Malcolm X, Hake is high. No, that's not true. That's why this BS is blowing his mind right now. I think I might be easily interested in or amused or something. Well, man, thank you. Interesting. Don't
the
smoke.
rabbit
It's
hole
safer
gets
for you.
deep.
Do you smoke pot?
Do I smoke pot?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a yes. Not too much.
Hey, I also wanted to
He didn't even answer. Huh? Yeah, go for it.
I already answered this. Remember, I called already before. Remember?
You called on Sunday and you were telling us about the third eye.
Yeah.
Okay. And
then
how
that dude-
fluoride closes the third eye.
Exactly. And then
Yeah.
that dude Leva, or what's his name? Leva from Sin City.
I don't know.
Or Levon,
Oh yeah,
Leva,
yeah,
something like that.
yeah. Leave on or something like that.
The little intellectual dude who called up to apparently correct me or whatever. That dude is a clown.
Dang.
I was just talking about fluoride. That was the whole point. I was
Right.
just telling you guys stay away from fluoride. It messes up your pineal gland, which is responsible for your melatonin. Your
I think that's true.
the stuff that's responsible for your good, your joy, all that, right? He called up like, oh, right, dude, talking about fluoride, blah, blah, blah. He just wanted to
Don't take it
prove that
personally,
he
man.
knows how to, he just wanted to be the articulate wise guy or whatever. But
My callers hating on each other. That's funny.
no. I'm just saying because he called me dumb. If he was really that smart, enlighten me. Don't belittle me. Don't be like, oh, you sounded like I'm not stupid, but one of those wise guys, and he never even tapped into his third eye, and I know that for a fact.
Interesting,
He's just
man.
one of them dudes sitting in his little college dorm watching Joe Rogan videos, thinking he knows what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But
Dang.
hey, Jake.
Yes.
Jake. Hey,
Yeah,
is Joe out there?
he is.
All right. Well, I don't want to drag on the subject about yesterday. I wondered. I know Joe's a rapper. He's pretty dope.
Yeah.
And I'm a rapper too. I'm a musician. And I was wondering.
You're
if
not
I
the
could
one who
show
brought
you
up
guys-
the sex question, did you?
Yeah, I am, but I'm not going to bring that up anymore.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah, don't trip.
All right.
I was wondering if I could show you, Joel, and everybody up there something I wrote, and then you guys tell me what you think.
Yeah, send it to us or call the office if you can.
I can't rap it for you guys right now.
Yeah, no, not right now, because I got to move on. But call again, because otherwise everybody's just going to get annoyed because you've been on the phone for the allotted time, and so call again. Call back tomorrow or something, and wrap it.
All right. Well.
Sound good?
All right. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, thank you. Good to hear from you, Rich. Appreciate it.
You too.
You blew my mind. All right, Mike out of Nashville, Tennessee, first-time caller. Mike, thanks for calling.
How's it doing?
Hey, fine.
Was I on the air last time, or is this the time where I repeat my reason for calling a lot?
No. What's up? You're on air.
Okay. So I just wanted to talk about the I don't know if any of the viewers know anything about it, but the massive Facebook purge the past week or so.
I didn't even hear about it. There's so much stuff going on, I guess. And you know me, I don't pay much attention to the news, even though I do read hate news. I only read Drudge. Somebody told me Drudge is not the only source of truth, James.
Yeah.
So, and in some cases, people think it's fake news. But what's up? What's going on with the Facebook purge?
So it was last Thursday. They deleted several thousand accounts so far. It's mostly like Proud Boys and all that, but as well as other right wingers, et cetera.
Okay.
But
I'm hearing your baby in the background, man.
yeah, sure is.
That's your baby?
Yeah.
Nice. White baby?
Yes.
Cool. Right on, man. You got something going on. You got bigger
the
things
next
to worry about than
that is-
Facebook.
Say what?
I said you got bigger things to worry about than Facebook, but still, it's good to know about this stuff.
Of course. But I'm not talking about like regular bans. I don't know if I made that clear enough. I'm talking about like permanently disabled.
Right.
So,
No,
like, all
I
these
agree.
pictures
I'm with you. They got rid of Proud Boys.
Yeah.
I thought that had
For the
already
most
happened.
part, yeah.
Say that again?
Yeah. For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. What a shame.
And I don't know how they're tracking people or whatever. But I made a new one right after I got permanently disabled. Right. Within 2 hours.
Are you a Proud
the new
Boy?
one was disabled. Yeah, I guess I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the thing that I'm most pissed about, not necessarily losing to social media, because I'll tell you what, man, I've lost a lot. I mean, I've freed up a lot of free time.
Yeah,
Since
that's
then.
true, man.
I never knew how much I used Facebook, but
Yeah.
at the same time, what really gets my nerves is the all the pictures, memories, and all that got deleted, like irreplaceable stuff.
Right. They like to play God. They give and take away. Yeah. But I'll tell you, man, if you handle it right, you'll have your dignity back and you'll be better for it. This type of, you can call it persecution of decent people, independent-minded people, the alt-right, the Proud Boys, Alex Jones, and practically anybody who, especially if you're white and male, and saying anything factual online, you've probably been censored. And
absolutely.
I understand if you're an emotional person, which I've been before, when it's like I've gotten suspended and things, and I don't know if I've been permanently banned from any whole platform yet, but it is offensive, but just take it in stride and you'll be better for it. And they don't know what they're doing. They're making us better by doing this stuff. But
I can
it's
see
good
that
to
too. I
know
thought
about it. It is wrong that they're doing it. But like you said, you're wasting more time than you realize on it. And you can move on to something better like Telegram or something.
I've been on Telegram for 2 years.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, thank you for the tip on this. I'm glad to hear about it. I mean, I'm glad to know about it. Because I heard that Proud Boys were gone, but I thought this was a long time ago. I didn't know that it just happened.
That was an older purge, and since then everyone basically come back, and it was a kind of a half-assed purge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, man, good luck with you and your family. You're married?
No.
Oh, okay. You got a baby out of wedlock, or is it divorce? You divorced?
No, it was out of wedlock. She's 2 years old.
Okay. You're white?
21.
You're 21? Oh, you were 21.
Yeah. I was 21 when she was born, yeah. I'm 24 now.
Wow. White people acting black, having babies out of wedlock.
Oh, that's nothing, man. My father's got like 4 kids with like 4 different women.
Wow. Interesting, man.
Well, yeah, I'm not trying to do that. That's not what I'm trying to do or anything, obviously.
Yeah. How'd you find the show?
Good question. I've been watching for a minute. I think someone just shared a video to me or something, probably on Telegram.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, it's good to hear from you, Mike. Call again.
Will do.
All right.
Good talking, man.
You as well. Let me get to Mike out of San Diego, California. Mike, what's up?
Mr. James.
Hey.
Good morning.
Morning. It is morning.
Hey, buddy, how's my connection? Sometimes you guys say it's no good.
You're doing okay. You sound kind of high-pitched, but it sounds cool and you're clear.
All right. Right on. All right, so my question was for you. Personally, I wanted to know, you know how Jesse has that story he tells about how when he bought his first house, he just knew. It's just the right time. I got to go get me a house. He tells that story all the time.
Right.
And he just went and found one. He just knew it was the right one. And he didn't have any money, and he just got it anyway. Because that's just what you do when you're a man. And that's how they did it when men were men. Okay, so I was wondering, how old was he again? Was he like 25 or something?
Yeah, the day he turned 25, he woke up and said, this is what's supposed to happen. And he didn't have any doubt. And so it worked out.
So did you do that when you were 25?
No, I didn't have that in my mind. I was not trained in my mind to do anything like that. Yeah. I was definitely not raised like Jesse. I did have to work on the roof during summertime and stuff like that, and work on the additions that my dad was doing to the house, but was not raised like Jesse was. I'm a Gen X, Gen Y guy, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you own a house now, though?
No, I do not.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
And so are you, when do you think you'll be able to buy a house?
I cannot predict the future. I really don't know. Yeah. You know, I have friends who've done it, who've bought houses, and then I have a lot of friends who are still living at their parents'. So our generation's like all messed up. Our parents were messed up, we're messed up, and the whole culture is too.
So do you think you are going to be able to buy a house?
I imagine so, yeah. But, you know, I can't really predict the future, but I don't see why not. I know that prices are going up and has gotten cheaper over time, and so the money is worth less than it's maybe been ever worth before. But yeah, stuff it's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to get married and have kids?
I don't know that either, man. I
know that you don't know, but what do you think? Like, do you think you are?
No, I don't think I am, but I don't necessarily think I'm not. I sometimes kind of think I'm not, because I am like 38 and I wasn't really wanting to, even when I was in grade school and having crushes on girls. I'm like, but I don't want to get married and have kids. But I don't know if that's that selfish desire for like keeping your independence that has gotten pushed into, you know, people are very selfish now, and they think, oh, I don't want to have to put up with that thing. I want to be free. So I think I have a little bit of that, which is maybe not the right attitude. But yeah, I just don't know. I don't really think about it a lot, honestly. I don't want to end in regret, of course, but what can I do other than just try to do right, live right?
Yeah,
you know?
What can you do? That's all we can do. You know, sometimes I think about it that like when I listen to you guys, like, look, I listen to you all the time. I love your show. I caught on to you guys because Jesse has such a sort of red-pilled attitude about women and about family and about the news and the liberals, and it's awesome. So, like, that's all good. But then there's this thing where it's like his whole motto is rebuilding the man by rebuilding the family.
No, the other way around.
Stories rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man.
Yeah.
Right. But then I don't get the impression that there's a whole lot of family building or even man building going on. I'm not sure. I mean, like, I look at him, like he doesn't have a family as far as I know. And he's surrounded by...
He has his son, and then he was going to marry or whatever, but then he realized, you know, they were the wrong women. They were trying to get controlling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if his son came on the show or something, we'd know a little bit more about that.
But you already know. I mean, why would you want to know more about that? Like he said in church that if you watched church yesterday, you would know that he doesn't bring his son around because he doesn't want to subject his son and his son's family to threats and things. So you seem to be like incredulous. I mean, I know for a long time you've been incredulous about Jesse and stuff like that. But like rebuilding men, it's up to the individual themselves to seek and wake up. You know, you can't say it's not up to them, but there are guys getting married and having kids all the time. Noel, Mark, and various others. I mean, Joel had his boo-boo for a little while, but he did the right thing. He just stayed with what's right.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've gotten to know those guys a little bit too, and they're weirdos. just like you. But as far as Jesse having, he has offspring, right? Like, so he knocked up a girl a long time ago, but he doesn't have a family. Like, that's different.
Right.
And he's not married. He wasn't a husband to a woman. He's never like had a wife that he's lived with and raised a home with. Like, he hasn't done any of that stuff, but he gives advice to everybody.
Right.
And here you are. You're like his guy that works for him, but you don't have a wife. You don't have a home.
Right.
And you're basically like a virgin incel telling us all how to be men and have families. So it's so weird.
But I'm not telling anybody. Hold on.
opinions.
But Mike, I'm not telling people how to be men and have families. When they call in for advice, I advise them. I give them my best advice. I say, go talk to Jesse, pray, know for yourself. So I really don't get your beef. I mean, I understand your concern that maybe I'm not living as best as I can, or you seem to have a nasty judgment against some of the guys that go to church, and maybe you're not examining yourself. You're just scrutinizing them. But I don't get your point, other than just to be kind of nasty and snaky.
No, the point is that you guys are promoting a philosophy that seems to come from all sorts of like knowledge and experience that really y'all aren't qualified to have. It's just not.
Well,
it's just
Jesus,
not right.
You aware of Jesus? I know you don't like Paul in the Bible, right? But you know that Jesus was not married, so was he not qualified to comment on that stuff?
First of all, you're not Jesus. And
I know, but
all,
was Jesus not qualified? Answer the question.
I don't know, dude.
I'm not giving the advice. Jesse is, and he's living it. If you were not blind, then you would see that Jesse is living it. People are waking up all the time.
Okay, then I'm blind, but I'm not blind, and there's not a bunch of awake people.
Yes, you are.
Bond.
Yes, you are blind.
Dude, the people at Bond are not awake.
I didn't say they were or weren't. I didn't say they were or weren't.
Where's your evidence that people are waking up all the time?
But I don't have to give evidence, because if you're blind, you're not going to see it. You already have a judgment against Jesse.
Oh, so I can't see it because I'm blind, because it's not there.
Yeah, you are blind.
And that's your judgment of me.
Well, I mean, it's reality. You are blind.
If you say so. But
no, but it's not if I say so. You just are. What makes you think that you're awake?
What makes you think that I'm blind?
The judgments that you carry against other people when you're every bit as weird as the people that you're judging, if not more.
So it takes one to know one. Yeah.
Whatever. But the reality is you are.
That you're not.
What's that?
You're the one saying that you're awake.
I never said I was awake. I never said I was awake.
Oh.
See,
so you're more awake than me?
I didn't say I'm more awake than you. I just said that you're blind.
Okay, so you're saying I would be able to see if I could see like you see, right?
No.
So
I'm just saying that if you were able to see, you could see Jesse's coming from the right place.
Okay, so you are able to see?
I don't know if I can see. I don't know if I can see, but I can tell that Jesse's coming from the right place and you're not.
How do you even know that he's coming from the right place?
Because just listen to him. It's all love coming from him. And it's just this phoniness coming from you.
What's phony about me? I'm telling you straight up exactly what I think.
Yeah, but you're still a snake. Like, you come in acting all nice. You say you love us. And then you say all these nasty things when you're no better than the people that you're judging. In fact, you're worse, honestly.
Dude, Jesse loves everybody that he calls a beta, and he's like,
but that's love. That's love.
I love you too, bro.
Beta.
I love you too, even though you're a weirdo caught up in a cult. Like, I still love you.
Cool, man. I appreciate that.
Not angry, I'm just like trying to talk to you about it. But
even Skip is calling you a snake, Mike.
Oh boy! Oh, not Skip. Oh no, not Skip. Oh man, see, like everybody I've gotten to know through the Bond organization is like a weirdo.
I know,
like
but
me, but it's all weirdo.
I understand that, right? I understand that. But if you look closely at reality, everybody that you ever met is a weirdo.
Yeah.
Right? People have to overcome their issues. So I recommend, and this is, I don't know, unsolicited advice, but have like a little more actual grace rather than this judgment against people, because it's not going to help you to be judging them. And yes, there are some weird people, and yes, like a lot of people have their issues, but you got to be watching yourself, man. So I don't know.
I am watching myself. I don't even know what you mean about the judgment. I'm just saying what's going on, and you're like, I'm judging them. I'm like,
no, but you're
calling me a snake and calling me blind and all this stuff, and then you say that I'm.
But you don't even recognize the phony niceness that you have. You don't have you seen?
Now you're saying that I'm phony nice.
Yeah. And I understand it. Most whites have that issue.
So you feel like I'm being nice?
You're being white. A white snake. But man, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Either you're gonna see or you're not gonna see.
But you see, right?
No, I'm not saying that I see. People can see each other, right? You can see that I'm like a beta or whatever you want to call. You can call me a what did you call me? An incel, something like that. Trying to tell, but I'm not. But you'll notice that I don't tell people how to be a man and stuff like that. I say that I totally agree with Jesse's message to be a man. I never say that I'm awake. I never say that I can see. But you know, you clearly see some stuff. I clearly see some stuff. But it doesn't mean that we can see. It doesn't mean that we're awake. It doesn't mean that we're not blind. So you have to overcome this stuff. And if you have this judgment against Jesse and you're asking for evidence or something that he's waking people up, then you're an intellectual. You're not actually spiritually awake.
Look, like, what's the difference between you every day? You can talk about liberals, or you can talk about illegal aliens, or you can talk about blacks and their mess, and you can talk about all these problems with other people. But if I talk about the problem I see with you, you're like, oh, you can't see, and you have judgments against me, and you're a snake.
Well, I'm not saying I didn't say that you're wrong about like what you're saying about me, but you are like I think it's pretty clear to everybody that you're a snake, right? But anyway, man, let's talk again later.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Cool.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Oh, man. Let me get to Lynn out of Chicago. Lynn, what's up?
Good morning, Hank. How you doing?
Doing fine. What's up?
Oh, I was calling in to tell you how my older brother died 2 days ago from a heroin overdose.
Your full blood brother?
No, well, I'm the only child, but my dad, he adopted other kids when he went down to Mexico.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, my dad had him for like 5 years before I was born. So he pretty much was like my all intents and purposes my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he ended up dying of a heroin overdose. Here in Chicago right now, they have a super potent heroin called Gray Death that's going around, and all these junkies are buying it and overdosing.
That is wild, man. What a mess.
So the other part was my family. My family they don't have, or let me call my relatives don't have the funds to bury him. However, they know that I do. So they came and they were asking me like, "Well, your brother died, and we need to bury him." I'm like, "Doesn't he have a wife?" They're like, "Yeah, he has a wife." I'm like, "Well, that's her responsibility. That's not my responsibility. I'm not in the business of burying people.
Right.
If I was, I'd be out of money." And they got really angry when I told them I'm not even doing any of that business because, I mean, like, why?
Right.
He made that decision.
Yeah.
A poor one, but I have nothing to do with that. Yeah.
That's wild, man. Does he have kids? Did he have kids?
He had one daughter, and his whole life was pretty bad. And unfortunately, that's the road he took.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's been years since I've talked to him. However, I never had any personally. I never had any hatred toward him. But I'm just not in the business of burying people.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
but,
it makes total sense. You shouldn't have to do that. Just have, if the wife asks for advice, just do a cheap funeral. He lived a cheap life, unfortunately. That's messed up.
Yeah.
What was he like? Was he an orphan or something like that?
Yeah. My dad went to an adoption. Like in Mexico, they pretty much had like adoption place. My dad adopted him and raised him as his son.
Yeah.
And,
wow, man. How's your dad? Is your dad living still?
No, my dad died in 1984.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, we were living in Mexico, and then he started having heart problems, and him being a U.S. citizen and all, we came to the United States, and he ended up dying because I guess at the time doctors really didn't know about heart surgeries to the extent that they know today, or preventing the heart attacks, and doing the whole regimens where people change their diet. They'll take a statin to alleviate the cholesterol in their blood, and hopefully live a long term. I remember reading, because when he was in the military, I remember reading that this is from the 1950s.
Yeah.
A doctor told me to eat an onion every day for his cholesterol. That was in his medical records.
And did it work?
No way it didn't work. Yeah.
That's
I'm like,
gross, man.
Well, this is before, I think the statins came out in the later 1980s. And then, people started getting their cholesterol split.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now, guys are, a person can survive a heart attack and prevent it.
Right.
Theoretically than they used to.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, but I don't know.
It sounds like you did right. What do you think?
Me or
you have any
him?
conflict about over your brother, your adoptive brother?
No, I have no conflict.
Yeah.
The only person who's gonna have conflict with me will be my my family, because they my relatives.
Yeah.
They will probably get all angry. I'm sure they're angry right now because I'm not paying for that funeral. And then the last time I had a relative, this is a couple years ago. I had a relative die, and they complained to me, and I paid for the funeral, everything.
Beta.
Yeah, I paid for it, and then they ended up having, they had the funeral. They had like a dinner with it where they bought all this fried chicken from Popeyes. And at the time, I was working at a different job. I worked pretty good jobs. I probably wouldn't have even showed up anyways. But they didn't even offer, to even invite me for a piece of for a chicken leg, and I paid for it. Yeah.
Nothing like a death to bring out the worst in people. It's interesting. People fight after a death over money, if the person had any money. Or they, like with Kobe, the black men and the black women are fighting each other like crazy now, with them bringing up this dumb black women bringing up the stupid rape accusation against him. Yeah. And I don't know, there's something interesting that goes on with when something real happens. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is that if they cannot fight over the person's money, they fight over other people's
each other's. Yep. That's pathetic, man. Get away from them. Yeah. I don't know.
And before I go, so I ended up paying for all this food, all this fried chicken, and then someone went. My sister's daughter went on vacation to Mexico with whatever was left over of the check I wrote. I'm like, guys, I'm not doing that again. And then as I was talking to my grandmother, I heard everybody in the background getting angry and wondering where they're gonna come up with money and stuff like that. I'm like, well, I told them a cremation costs About $600.
You should
like,
charge.
Cremate.
You said your sister went down to Mexico?
No, her daughter went down to Mexico.
Charge your niece that money. Tell her you want the change.
Well, the thing is, these guys are so broke that
make her work for you. Make her wash your dishes. I don't know, man.
Well, the thing is that none of them have ever been to my house.
Okay, good. Yeah, keep it that way. Man, that's wild.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way I choose to live. My son. I told you how I followed the Jewish faith because my dad was a Jew. So I'm following his faith, and then my one son, he's about to go through his bar mitzvah, and my other son, he's in the Hebrew school right behind him, and then he's gonna have his bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
But I don't even bring my family around.
Good.
These relatives. The thing is, I told you my mother's side, they're Mexican, and my dad's side is German Jew. He was born in Eastern Germany,
right?
Which became part of Poland today. And I refuse to let my sons even around these people because
did they call you a Jew when you didn't give them the money?
Yeah, they were angry.
That's wild, man. That's an interesting story. Thanks, Lynn. I gotta go. Right. Let's talk again.
All right, take care.
All right, you as well. Reprobata mindset out of OCCA. Reprobata mindset. What's up, man?
Hey, man. Good to talk to you.
You as well.
No, and to comment on that last caller, you guys were talking about how death brings out the worst in people and how people fight about money and all that.
Yeah.
But they'll fight about people will fight about anything if if someone's wife dies, kind of in whatever way, like in a bad way, and then they want to get attached to the clothes that this guy's a guy.
Oh gosh.
They'll be like, oh, and the parents will want to take the clothes because it's their daughter's clothes.
Right.
And he's like, no, you can't have them. It's not even money. It's just kind of anything that they can fight about.
Yep.
Death will kind of bring that out of people.
Yeah. It's a reckoning.
It's crazy.
Interesting, man.
Yeah, but I'll try to make this really quick. I just had a quick message for the white snake, the mean guy.
Oh, white snake.
I don't know. I didn't catch his name.
Mike.
Actually, the only guys. Whatever.
Yeah, Mike out of San Diego.
Oh, that's why San Diego. No, but I don't know. I used to be mean too. Like I can, but that's kind of like a small, kind of a weak position to be at because it's kind of weak to attack someone, like whatever kind of ad hominems or whatever. But the thing is, he was talking about Jesse doesn't have a family, blah blah blah. How can he talk about that?
Yeah.
But that's kind of not true because Jesse is the leader of a church, so he kind of has a different kind of family.
Yeah.
So just like Jesus or whatever, he had a different kind of family. But he kind of works on people and his family in the macro sense, like kind of a wide range of family, and people with kids and wives, they work on their family in a micro sense.
Right.
It's like a smaller, so it's still, they're both equally as important,
True. Yeah, so, the real family is the so-called brothers and sisters in Christ, if you will.
Right. So
yeah, man.
To each his own, and to be mean, that's just it's beta. So it's funny.
I don't think he was aware that he was being mean.
Well, but that's the only way he can kind of communicate, and he wants to say
right after a certain time
being weird. Yeah. So whatever. But it really just shows projection that he's the weird one.
Right.
So.
Well, I appreciate it. Reprobata mindset.
All right.
Take care, man. Ryan and the rest of you guys, I'm sorry I can't get to you. That's the end of the show. Maybe after the move will be 2 years. I mean, 2 years. 2-hour show. Joel is like almost crying. Because he knows I would. No, I'm kidding. All right, guys. We'll see you thehakereport.com for my stuff, jlptalk.com, and remember, rebuildingtheman.com, and then click on store to find these awesome shirts and books and music. All right. See you guys.